back, the weekly show broadcasting all the STS action as we've already said before. Had a few more joining before we had that quick interlude, but it gives me a chance to say a big welcome once again to Haddington 83.
Good evening.
Good evening, mate, and good evening to Shads. Good evening, sir.
Long time no here.
It was about 30 seconds, mate. It was about 30 seconds. We already covered the Dynamite versus the Norsk, which was actually covered by me, and of course actually got Haddington involved in that one. But it was a big win for the Dynamite. The Norsk still waiting for their first victory and to get over the 40-point barrier. But again, it looked like one-way traffic at Dynamite, and it certainly gives the boost for the Dynamite heading into their next match, as I believe it's going to be after the Knockout Cup, because of course we're in Knockout Cup action next week. And we also have the GP and SCS draws previews tonight. I think that's been a long day, so I'm a bit thick-headed at the moment. So we moving on to the second match of the week, and this was the Piemen versus the Scorchers. And this was a 51-39 victory for the Piemen on a very tricky track that was presented to the Scorchers the other week. And Shad, your thoughts on this one? Of course, by the looks of it, it was a very close meeting up until Heat 4.
Yeah, so just the 4 heats then. Pies were coming off a 2-week break, I believe. So Scorchers would have been quite hopeful after last week, and they beat us around their track last week. So they would have been in decent spirits, I should think. The Scorchers have had a very tough opening few meetings, and they faced the Warriors twice in the league and the cup, and I think they faced the Cowboys as well. So they've not had the easiest start. So Sizzler set a new track record as well in Heat 3. So they would have been hopeful of getting something from there.
Sizzler was definitely on fire.
Sizzler was red hot, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And the Piemen hit them those 2 5-1s early on, and after that, I think it was like a foregone conclusion. I mean, it was a meeting of 5-1s. I think there was 9 5-1s in total over both sides. And Scorchers were missing Cam, definitely weakened.
Yeah.
And Owen was understandably rusty because he hasn't raced much this season. I think he's only might be his first or second meeting, and it took a while to get going. But Pies then had only 6 points on Speedy's rider replacements.
Yeah,
that sort of evened itself out. And Pies are going to be very tough to beat at home. Very tough. I don't envy any team having to go there.
And of course, riders to pick out from that meeting. Definitely looking at B Witcher, scoring 13 and 2 for number 2.
Yeah, he's my rider of the match for Piemen.
Yeah, and I guess Sizzler for the away team.
Pompey. Oh, a special mention to Pompey as well. He put a good score in.
Yeah,
probably his best score of the season, I think.
Mm.
So BW definitely for the Piemen. I don't know how the hell he's still riding at number 2. I'm sure that's going to change the next averages. And for the Scorchers, obviously it's going to have to be Sizzler with track record and 4 wins. I don't think there's any other candidates really.
It was a good close match. Well, to start with, looking at the scores, it was like 14-10 by Heat 4, and then the Piemen got a 5-1, and they got reverse 1-5 in Heat 6. So it stayed close, but then there was advantages. Heat 8, Heat 9, Heat 10, pretty much put the Piemen in control. Although, thinking about it though, those 2 advantages for the...
Look at the last 4 heats, Dan. They're traded 5-1s.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you don't see that very often.
And that 4-2 in Heat 11 as well, with Sizzler and Owen getting that third place, gave them
Yeah,
hope. But again,
only 2 drawn heats.
Yeah, that was a big one. So and we all know what happened last night. It was the big one, the one that they were all talking about. It was the Storm versus the Warriors, and this one went right down to the wire. And in the words of Craig, it certainly was
back of the net.
That was back of the net stuff there from the Warrior, from the Storm. There, the Storm went into this match thinking they weren't going to win, but how they pulled it off, I have absolutely no idea. Hadlington, your thoughts on this, man? Because this one went down to the wire.
Yeah, this is one of those matches that had, as you can say, absolutely everything in one of those. How the last 3 heats from the Storm, I mean, to be trailing by 6 going into the nominated heats and then come out winning by 4 points, it's just what a turnaround that is. I mean, the 2-5-1s, obviously, the last 2 heats help. But credit to Storm for keep going. I think the rider replacements possibly cost them a little bit again, only scoring 3 points from Skyriders heats compared to the 5 from the Warriors. I mean,
Yeah.
for Scotty B, I mean, he probably did even itself out in the end because they actually used a tactic sub in the one rider replacement where they brought Craig into Heat 8, I think it was.
Yep, Heat 8.
And they got the 4-2. It probably did even itself out a little bit. I mean, but obviously when you need your big gun to come up, your Heat leaders, Craig, Parries and Ads, scored 39 points between them out the 47. So that is credit to them for keep going and pushing the rest of the other team onto the end.
Yeah, I did say during this meeting last night, which we showed on Discord with commentating as well. This match reminded me of Plymouth versus Birmingham last season, where it was like the home team led for like the start of the match, and they led right through to Heat 14 and a 4-2, they had like advantages either way. Oh no, so the Brummies had like advantages in 9, 10, 11, 12, and a 5-1 in 13. Only rescued by a 3-all in Heat 14 to make it 42 points apiece. So it went down into that last Heat decider. And, well, Craig and Powers certainly delivered the goods for the home team and gave the Warriors their first defeat of the league. At the start of the match, when this match was obviously taking place, the Storm was saying, "Oh, we're not going to win this. We're not going to win this at all." But guys, you brought it in and you brought it full on. And again, it went right down to the wire. It was surprising seeing the Storm having to use attack sub on their home track as well. It was very rare. It's very rare to see. And I think do you agree, Hads, that if Ads MFT didn't have that last in his 4th ride, it would have been a much more bigger scoreline, do you reckon?
Possibly, yeah. That is, I mean, the Warriors, I think they use their rider replacement very well. With having to put Steve putting himself in twice as well was really good. I mean, obviously we all know how well he can defend when he's ahead. But that could have gone the complete opposite way for the Storm. They could have the heads could have completely gone down after that, going into the nominated heats, but they didn't. And I have to give. I know Lango only scored 2 points, but the one he did score was the important one in 13 for the 4-2, and then obviously our friend Chad's here with his race win in Heat 14, leading home Ads for the 5-1 to level the scores.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Enjoyed that. About my nephew Badger was very unlucky with his lag in quotation marks in that race because it was right. It was right on my back wheel for most of the race, and then he had that lag in quotation marks, and then sort of like pretty much let me go. I mean, ads rode a totally different line to me, which helped me, but it means I wasn't panicking that I was I was gonna sort of bump into him and knock him off. So, I mean, I actually made a gate for once and led from start to finish. So that was I mean, that was fun. And then when you got Paris and Craig in Heat 15, you always think you've got a chance of a 5-1 because we got the Holy Trinity there, Craig, Paris, and Ads. I mean, you're talking about Craig and Paris, but Ads was terrific all night. I mean, he had that one last place, but apart from that, he was unbeaten. I mean, he was flying in practice. I mean, he was knocking in 0.3s and brilliant times. But it was great to ride with him last night. He just let me go, and then he'd knock Tank into the grass towards the end of and in the end of the race, which was always brings a smile to my face when I watch that recording.
Yeah, I did watch that heat actually. As you say, Ads rode a completely different line to yourself on the inside to cover Tank. Is that something that you've worked on, or was it just spur of the moment thing? I think from Ads to get the 5-1 on the board.
What do you mean worked on? We don't work on anything. We haven't got we don't have a strategy. We hardly ever practice. Never mind working and stuff. We just turn up and race. We don't. Well, we haven't worked on anything. We don't have any plan. We just make up as we go along.
Thanks, saying I was put in the grass. That was a strategy. But again, Shad, I want to sort of move on from the league. Big knockout cup match coming up for the Storm coming up.
I don't think we've talked enough about last night. Oh no, carry on.
Well, if it comes to it,
carry on.
This is great banter. It really is.
Great banter from for Shads there. But of course, Hadlington, you're man of the match for these ones.
I think I'm gonna have to go for Ads for this Storm.
Yep.
As Shad said, apart from that one race where he got last, he was unbeaten. Absolutely flying. So I'm gonna give it to Ads for the Storm. For the Warriors, it's a tough one because apart from his last race, racerryan, I guessed shortly, he scored 10 points. I don't know what happened in that last one. Obviously, he just didn't finish the race, but I think I'm going to give it to Stephen just for the facts, the use of the rider replacement to get the points when he needed, and that 6 points up going into the nominations. The Warriors
good strategy.
Probably thought it was job done there, but
yeah,
it was unfortunate. Obviously, they lost that in the end, but I think it was a good strategy from Tank. So I'll give it to Stephen for this one.
Happy days. Well, of course, we will be looking into the Knockout Cup semi-finals and also the SCS and GP draws in the second part of the show. I know we were slightly delayed in getting on, chaps, but it will be our first mid-match break, which I believe is our is that a GP question tonight?
It's a speedway question.
It is a speedway question, yes, and it is linked with and it is linked with Coventry as well, being our guest racerryan, who will ask to stand by for his introduction. So I believe the question was, in 2016, who won the very last race at Coventry Stadium? In 2016, who won the very last race?
Elite League.
In the Elite League, thank you, Shad. The very last race in the Elite League at Coventry Stadium. Get your think caps on, guys. We'll see you in 5 minutes. And we are back. Welcome, one and all. The answer to that question of in 2016, who won the last Elite League race at Coventry? And we can confirm that Badger Racing has cheated again and has got the answer spot on. It was Niels Christian Everson. We've got to stop. We've got to start having the use of Google and Alexa right lot. So, dear me. Oh, bloody hell. But yeah, as I say, a long time ago, that 2016. And I guess, let's say, so we'll switch gears for a little bit. Of course, AGM's coming up for Speedway in general. That was the speed up to not Google. Badger, for goodness sake. AGM's coming up. There's been some talks about potential recruits going to certain tracks. I believe that Mr. Wolfie gave us a full list of pool teams. I believe I'm not going to give it much detail because it might not be confirmed. But with this AGM coming up, do you think it'd be decent? Like how it's going to pan out? Like what's going to happen? What do you reckon, Hads?
I hope so. I mean, obviously, Speedway in this country has been looking a bit bleak for a few years now. So hopefully they can get their heads together and come up with something, and hopefully get enough teams in the top league to keep the standard up over here. Or would one league be better now? I'm not sure.
Well, there was talks on a Twitter page that I saw where someone had put in like a hybrid league. So he had ones from the National League going up, and then the ones from the Championship going into the top league. And the teams look really strong on paper, but whether or not it was able to happen is beyond me because that was quite a few weeks ago that it was that it took place. But in the meantime, that's for in the future, which we'll discuss in a couple of weeks when the AGM happens. We're going to bring on our guest. For actually, no, Shads, you're here, mate. What's your thoughts on the AGM coming up for Speedway? What's your thoughts in general?
Well, I'll know a bit more tomorrow night because I'm going to the Berwick Bandits end of season do. So hopefully we'll get some sort of news there.
Oh, good man, good man. Well, enjoy that one. Enjoy that one, mate.
Yeah. After the
Bit of
season they've had.
bit of a long trek.
Oh yeah, it's all of 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just round the corner. I can see the floodlights from here.
I thought you were down south near Rye House.
Nah, I've been up here for 6 years now.
Oh, blimey! Fair enough.
Yeah, no,
fair
just
enough.
round the corner. It's a 2-minute drive.
Brill. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, we're switching gears now, chaps. we're gonna bring on our guest for tonight, and he is a current Somerset Warrior. His debut season was in season 4. He's ridden for 12 seasons for 6 different clubs. He's scored over 1,000 points. He's had 4 league titles. He's had 3 Knockout Cup titles, a 1 Pairs title. He's won the Neil Potter Shield 3 times, and he's also a former world champion. Currently riding for the Somerset Warriors on a 6.76 average. His current British League average is 9.12, and current CM average is 9.76. And he's certainly been racking up the points. We welcome in Racer Ryan. Good evening, sir.
Hi lads, you all right?
Not too bad, mate. How you been?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Well, I think the first big question is, how are you feeling after last night?
A bit disappointed to be honest, but that's one of them. I think we just got a bit complacent in the end, and yeah, it just went the way of the storm.
Sorry, how's I nicked the question then, mate? Sorry about that. But I believe it's Shad. You got the first question.
I wanted to ask him that.
Oh.
No.
Sorry, mate. No, I said I wouldn't gloat, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
This is me slapping my wrist down. There you go.
Right, Shad's first question, mate.
Hello, Ryan. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, Chad.
Yeah,
You all right?
I'm good. Yeah, you had an amazing debut season. I mean, you won the league with your first season with the Warriors, and that team was packed full of talent. I mean, you had Craig, Steph, and Benny. Stephen 101, Jan, and not forgetting our producer Tank.
Yeah.
What are your memories of that first season?
Well, I just remember I guested a few times before I joined Warriors, and I got a message off Craig, and he just basically said that like, did I want to join? Basically, because I must have shown some potential, and yeah, I joined, and yeah, it was a good season because I had lots of good riders there, and I improved obviously.
Yeah, I was banned for season 4, so I don't remember it. I didn't see a race or anything, so that season was a total blank for me.
Yeah.
You took some breaks. I think you took a break in season 9, season 12, and 14. Well, why was that?
Um, I don't know. I kind of
Can you
just
remember?
I don't know really. It was just like I don't know. I kind of just needed a break from the game a little bit. I don't know. I kind of I didn't feel like I was improving any, and I just thought, yeah, I'll have a break and then come back if anyone wanted to sign me. And yeah, Powis did after a little break. So yeah, I did come back.
Oh, blimey. Ryan, you've been hovering around the 6 to 8 point mark for the past few seasons, but your
Yeah.
form has picked up significantly this season. What do you attribute that to this
Um,
upturn?
I don't know. I prefer the new bikes definitely. I think I know there's not a lot of difference, but I seem to be able to follow the riders a lot closer on these bikes. So maybe that's the reason. But I don't know. I don't really put it down to anything really. It's good to have a team what trains regularly. So yeah.
Hans, you got a question, bud?
Yeah, evening, Ryan.
You all right, Hads? Yeah.
Yes, mate, thank you.
Yeah.
On the average changes that are coming soon,
Yeah.
you're set to be number 1 for the Warriors. I'm not sure if you've been number 1 before. I'll put you on the spot a little bit here.
Yeah. It's all right.
Can you lead the Warriors to the league title?
Oh yeah, definitely. If I carry on this form, of course, and I've not really been a number 1 before. I might have ridden there a couple of times when the number 1's not been available. But, yeah, I think
Development League, Brian,
yeah,
for the
maybe that.
Rockets.
Yeah, when you signed me, I remember that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say 100%. It's not just me who's the reason why we're doing well, though. There's numerous riders riding above their averages, like Badger's, like probably the bargain of the season, and obviously Volf's been a bit of a surprise as well. He's been quite good, and yeah, obviously Tank's improved as well. So it's not just me. I think it's a team effort if we were to go on and win the league.
Cool.
I was going to say that most of the Warriors have raised their averages this season. Badger especially looks a
Yeah.
different rider now. What have you done to him?
Uh, it's not just me. Like I say, Badgers. I've always thought he's had a lot of potential, but he's just never really shown it. So I think this season he's kind of kicked on, and it's a good thing because it's helping us. And like I say, he'll probably be in the main body of the team now, but I still think he'll do well. And then obviously you've got Alan McNally at the bottom. He's never really scored many points before, but he scored a few this season, so it's positive to see that as well.
Just Had your next question, mate?
Yeah, you've won 4 league titles.
Yeah.
What would you say was your best home track when you won those league titles?
Well, the first season probably because it was just ridiculously hard to ride. I found it quite hard to ride, being quite new on the game then. And like I say, the other ones, Newcastle. Well, no, I don't think it was Newcastle. I can't even remember now, to be
Yeah, it
honest.
was Exeter, Bellevue, and Somerset were the other 3.
Yeah, well, obviously Exeter's a difficult track to ride as well, so probably that one as well. But like, Somerset, as when we won last season, it was kind of quite an easy track to ride. Everyone kind of likes it, you know what I mean? So I'd probably say Exeter or Milton Keynes, the old version of that.
Everyone loved Exeter, didn't they? Well, some of them loved Exeter. Of
Yeah.
course, We've got a GP question as well for you, Ryan. And with that, I'm going to hand over back to Shad for that one. So it's a bit of a
Okay.
GP question for you, mate.
All right.
Ryan, you're currently flying high in the GP standings on 29 points. You're only three
Yeah.
behind Stefan. And your GP record is pretty good recently, and since you qualified for the SCS in season 16.
Yeah.
How you finding the GPs this season?
Well, yeah, the first round, I don't know, it weren't really a track I really liked, to be honest. I kind of scraped a final, but not many points. So if I can improve my consistency a little bit in the latter rounds, then hopefully I can push Stefan all the way. Like I say, I felt like I could win the last round because I felt faster than Stefan. So yeah, hopefully I can be like that again.
Well, he's shown he's vulnerable. We didn't even reach the final in the last round, so it's up for grabs. I mean, most seasons it's sort of over after 2 or 3 rounds, but being with the 8 rounds now, so
Yeah,
there's more chance to if you can ride in every round,
yeah,
you've got a pretty good chance of topping it. I think it's between 3 of you at the moment, you, Stefan, and Paris. So
yeah.
it's there for the taking, mate.
Yeah, well, I hope I can push him all the way and hopefully maybe grab a win. Grab a few more wins in the series and hopefully push him all the way for the title. So we'll have to see.
Now, of course, Ryan, you took the Warriors to Storm last night,
Yeah,
and just so you know, it was a good match nonetheless. Went down to last heat decider.
yeah.
Uh, what were the nerves like?
Yeah, well, I didn't really feel the nerves. It was just kind of like, well, in the final race, I tried to slow Paris down to get a draw, but it just didn't work. It didn't really affect the result because we got a point anyway. Uh, but I wouldn't say there was much nerves. It was just kind of we battled it.
Yeah, it was. I was saying to the guys at the start of the show that it reminded me a little bit of that Plymouth versus Birmingham match that Plymouth led all the way to heat 14 and then just managed to get just over the line.
Yeah,
And it was great to watch. I mean, and commentating over it as well was great. I mean, I got to thank all you guys for just putting on one hell of a show.
yeah.
We've got a question from Badger actually in the chat.
Okay.
He said if Ryan could build a 1 to 7 from any team, what would his 1 to 7 be?
Okay, so 1 to 7. Okay. I'd have Craig at 1 because he was my first captain. And like he put faith in me and probably, he gave me a team spot. It probably made me play the game a lot more and whatever at the start of the game. So that was good and, good friends with Craig, whatever. Number 2, I'd probably go with probably my captain last year, probably Squall. It was good to race with Squall. He's a good lad. 3, I'd go probably Zagar. We have a good connection on the track. Yeah, I feel like when I ride with him, we do quite well together. I'd put myself at 4 if I'm allowed to include myself.
Yeah, we'll let it. We'll let it that.
Okay, and then I'd put 5. I'd put Powis because he's been my captain, and when I had the breaks, he brought me back to the game, and yeah, he's a good great part to the community and stuff on the game, and he's a good friend of mine. And then probably 6 and 7, I'd put Stephen. My captain now. I've rode with him numerous times. A good friend of mine as well. And then 7, seeing that he asked the question, I'll put Badger at 7 because yeah, he's a good lad, and like I say, it's good to see him improving, and yeah, there you go.
A lot of Warriors.
You'd have to switch Stephen and Badger around because Badger likes the 6, doesn't he?
Okay, then if he likes the 6, then
Oh, and I got to say, Ryan, I think the last time I saw you was in Cardiff. I think that was a few seasons ago, and you
yeah.
were mentioned a lot of looking like Dan Bewley. Is that still in your mind? Like you look like Dan Bewley a little bit?
Oh yeah, I suppose so. I've got the ginger hair, haven't I? So if you got ginger hair and someone else is ginger, everyone just says, "Oh, you look like him."
Oh, I think everyone does, mate.
Mm,
We'll say,
yeah.
Ryan, we're looking ahead to the STS and GP series in the next part of the show, and
Yeah.
also the KO Cups. Going into those meetings, what's your what do you like? Say you have a big meeting. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do in preparation for that meeting?
Yeah, well, for a GP, yeah, I try and do some practice a little bit before. Obviously, this time it's been a bit difficult with the meeting being on the Thursday, so I've not done any practice on the GP track. Like last time, I don't think we had a meeting before, so I did quite a few laps. So yeah, I'd say preparation wise, I'd have, I should have always been up there for the last Grand Prix, but this one, it's a bit more of an unknown because I'm not going to have as much time to practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for the Knockout Cup as well next week. I think it's an early one Monday, so like not much practice. But going into, I think if you've got a lot of practice and you can do a bit of practice before the meeting, it's always good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hads, you got any final questions for Mr. Ryan?
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, riding
Yeah.
in the same team as Zagar last season.
Yeah.
Was that kind of why you picked the Somerset track, or obviously you two won the league together, I believe, last season, and the other guys learnt from that, or?
Yeah, it was a team decision, of course, but like the whole team ended up liking Somerset when we tried it, and obviously me and Zagar rode there last season, so we should be quite good there anyway. It doesn't really offer too much home advantage, really, but I don't know. I think if you do learn it enough, I feel like you're probably just about having enough to win the majority of meetings at home. If like I say, I think most teams should win at home if they practice enough. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Shads hasn't got anything at all, unfortunately. So I think with that being said, we're going to wrap up the interview.
You've done all my questions.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry, Shads. We've got to sort of
That's all right.
plan it a bit more thorough.
It's a team. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me on anyway, and it's always good listening in. So yeah, it's a good job.
No worries, Ryan. Thanks for coming in, mate. And best of luck for the rest of the season, and we'll have a catch up.
Hopefully we get our win against Storm at home, and hopefully they don't get any points.
Oh,
it's a long time off, mate.
Oh,
yeah, I know. But yeah, all right, I'll let you carry on. All right, I'll speak to you later.
Cheers,
Thanks, Ryan.
Cheers,
Right,
Ryan. See you, mate.
Thank you,
All right,
mate.
cheers.
Cheers,
All right,
boys.
bye.
Well, that was a great chat with Ryan there. Certainly, he wasn't as silent as Shad's put him up to be when he first saw him. So fair play to him. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to head into our final break, which will then give us a chance to look ahead to the GP, SCS, and Knockout Cup previews. So it is STS question time, and because I took his questions, I'm going to let Shads ask this question. So Shads, the STS question for you, mate. What you got?
Right. Okay. Of all the riders who have competed in the official league meetings in the STS, who are the first and last alphabetically? And Badger stay off the forum.
Oh, so there's your thinking caps on, chaps. Who becomes?
Can I repeat that?
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Of all the riders who have competed in STS official league meetings, who are the first and last alphabetically? Oh, there's a lot of people typing.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll get your think caps on, chaps, and we'll see
It's
you
too easy.
in 5 minutes. And we are back after that short pause. My apology, we were supposed to do the GP and SCS previews before the break, but we actually went through and did the break and that all in one go. So to answer the question of which rider in the SCS league come at first and last alphabetically, Shad, do you want to give the answer to that one, bud? If Shad's is back.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Powers was spot on. It was Aaron J, 717, and Ziggy.
So quite a
And the
vast
tank,
array of
to be
names.
honest with you, tank sort of, if you look at the list, it actually got 1875 Chris, but we weren't including numbers.
Yeah, it was like A to Z.
Yeah, that's why we said
Okay.
alphabetically.
Yeah, Stephen says boo. Okay, then. So the final part of tonight's show, and it is preview time. So we're going to first of all preview the GP series. Of course, both matches are taking place at the same time. At the Swedish track Vargana, I believe. If that's been confirmed. Yeah, Vargana. And of course, the draw was done on last week's show. Expertly done by Mr. Tank as well, so really appreciate that. And of course, this is the one that has all the big names in it. And as well as yourself, Hads, and yourself, Shads, not to keep you guys left out. So 16 top riders in this race, in this meeting, and well, Hads, I'll start with you, mate. Your thoughts on this meeting? I mean, what can you do against this stellar lineup?
That is a very good question. The track's not. I mean, I've practiced a little bit on the track. Still not confident bike-wise, what bike to go with. So, yeah, it's always going to be tough against these guys. If you just look at my first hit there, Sizzler, Craig, and Zagar. I mean, it doesn't get much harder than that to start off. So, I think it'll be a case of we might see a few people in the grass, bends 3 and 4, in this one. Few people stealing points when people do grass, but as always, the aim is to try and get as many points as possible and get to that semi-final spot.
In terms of a neutral's perspective, which of those races do you see having the most impact? Like seeing the riders in the race, who do you think is going to be the top dog? Because I can see quite a few here. I'd say Heat 20 for me. We got Powis, Craig, Racerryan, and Fakey as yeah, exactly. Big Slow came for Heat 20. Yeah, that's one of the big ones they're going to have. But for yourself, Hads, who do you think is going to be the looking at those heats? Which do you think is going to have the most to go for?
It's a tough one just to pick one heat. I think. I think possibly there's Heat 6 as well. Craig, Stefan, and Bobby. Crooks. I know Crooks unavailable for this one. But
yeah, I believe there's a replacement for Crook. Is that correct?
I believe it's it could be Craig Hurl who rode in the SCS. I'm not too sure at the moment. But for me, my one is I think say Heat 15, JC, Stefan, and Powis. I mean, ouch, is all I can say there.
Heat 15, Haddington J. Oh yes, I can see, and you're on the inside as well.
I mean, the inside to me it looks the favourable gate as well, which doesn't. We'll see.
Wow. Shads, I'm going to bring you in as well, mate, if I can. You're also in this meeting, and same questions to Had that I gave to you. I mean, your meeting. How you gonna find it?
Tough, as usual. It's interesting what I had said about the inside gates. I've only got one. You've got gate 1 and the gate 2, and then the rest are outside. So I think, as usual, gating's probably going to cost me there. They'd be chasing, and then when you're chasing, you tend to make more mistakes. So I don't know. As long as I can get more points than Craigie Earl, that's going to be my target.
And of course, this match is going to be going to be broadcast on Discord, I believe, by it could be Skyrider or it could be Alan. Now, I'm not too sure who's going to be broadcasting this one, but it's going to be broadcasted anyway.
I think
But again, this
Skyrider
match,
said he's going to do it because he's not in the either of the competitions. So I think he said he was going to do it. I'm not sure
yeah,
who
I
he's doing
think
it with.
I think with Skyrider, I think that'll be quite a decent one to be involved with. So of course, taking place the same night is going to be the SCS series, and this one seems to be the lesser strength meeting, shall I say. This one, of course, there's at least 4 or 5 that can take the win in this one. For me personally, I would say possibly Ads MFT, Stephen 101, Scotty B. Hobnob says lesser strength, my arse. Sorry there, Hobnob. And of course, the wild card is Capesy. He comes in for the wild card slot. Of course, the top 3 from this tournament go through to the next round, or the season 19 GP series. Shads, I'll bring you in first of all, mate. This match, as I said, it's not as strong as the GP series, but again, there are still riders that can potentially cause an upset.
I'm going to be really boring and go for a warrior. It's going to be one of the 3. I say it every week. I know I do.
Are you trying to say this just because you beat them last night?
No, I've been saying I've been consistent all throughout the season, and I said at the start of the season Warriors won't lose a meeting. Okay, we'll scrub that one. But I've been pretty consistent when I said Stephen Tank. I did mention Tank every week, and Badger. Obviously, the form Badger's in. He's beat. I mean, he's not just because he's at reserve scoring points. He's beaten top riders as well, and he's always in the race, apart from when he gets lag. Yes, I'm going for one of the. I'm going for one of the 3. Obviously, Wolf's. I don't think Wolf's in this one. I'm not sure. I heard a whisper that Wolf's missing. After his tremendous
I think he is
first.
riding. I think
Oh,
Tank
was he
said he is
riding?
riding now.
He had that 21 point maximum in the first round, didn't he? And then he missed the last round. But I'm going to go for either Badger, Scotty, or Stephen. With Wolf, if he rides, maybe he's one of the spoilers. But I can see Ed's doing well here. But I don't know if he's had any practice on it yet. We were practicing. We were practicing for last night's meeting, so very few of us have actually had a look at the track here. And I've had a few laps. We had a few laps last night after the meeting. Some of the Storm guys, and it's one of those tracks where you're going to, like Had said, you're going to be in the grass. There's going to be a few people hitting the grass on the 3rd and 4th bends, and perhaps on the 1st and 2nd bends as well. But I heard some people have said there's an outside line there, which I've yet to find. So it'll be interesting to see when we get some practice what people are riding. Oh,
Yeah.
Kaney says don't bother with the outside. Thanks, mate. Cheers, Kaney.
Oh no. Well,
It's going to be one of those gate and goes, isn't it? Which will favour the ones that are good at track craft.
Yeah, definitely. But again, some big hitters in this one, so anyone could potentially win it.
Well, can I just mention my mate Langos? It'll be his first meeting because he missed the first 2 rounds. It'll be his first one, and he was looking pretty good in practice last night. So it's the sort of track he likes. He likes the small, tight tracks. So maybe I'll give Lango a good chance of getting into the semi at least.
Oh, that's good. That'll be That's probably given the edge he needs there, Shads. But of course, this match takes place the same time as the GP series. We haven't got a league table of unfortunately as to who's leading where. I'm sure I'll be putting the forum more on the Discord sites in future excuse me, on future posts. And of course, after the GP series, we have the Knockout Cup. This is the last part of the show. The Knockout Cup previews. And if Stephen can put on the sheet for the Knockout Cup, if you would be so kind. He's waiting around. There we go. Okay. So Monday the 6th of November, we see the Piemen against the Warriors. Of course, this is a double header. It's a two-legged semi-final. So Monday the 6th of November, we see the Piemen versus the Warriors. And, well, that one's going to be close to call, really. Can the Warriors put the 24 hours ago behind them and go for a big away win to take to the Oaktree Arena for the home leg and the second leg? Hads, your thoughts on this big match? Of course, it's going to be a big one because we might see if the Warriors do get the win as well as the Storm against the Cowboys. We'll get into in a minute. Do you think we could see potentially a Warriors versus Storm final?
Yeah, possibly. I think Shads is actually covering this one.
Hello.
You're indeed Shad. Sorry, mate.
I don't want to be talking about my own team again. I think people are getting fed up with it now. Pies and Warriors. Pies have been terrific at home on that track, and the Warriors have shown they are vulnerable at home, especially last week when the Dynamite ran very close. I mean, you'd hope that the Pies could take a lead to defend to Somerset and get Speedy. They need to get Speedy back in the side because they miss him. And if Warriors come away with a draw or a win, I think it's curtains for the Piemen, I'm afraid. But I can see the Piemen maybe sneaking this by a couple of points. Will that be enough for the second leg? I don't know. But it's interesting what Ryan said about them being complacent last night. I don't think they'll be complacent on Monday.
Yeah. Stephen says there's a strategy going on here tonight, taking Shad's question, now taking over his preview. Sorry about that, Shads. Sorry about that, mate. And now, of course, the 9th of November, Thursday, Cowboys versus Storm. And this one again has the appetites of being a close first leg. So, Hads, your thoughts on Cowboys versus Storm?
Yeah, I think this is going to be another close one on paper. I don't think there's a lot to separate the two teams. I think it could depend, maybe the middle order of the teams, the availability. I know Smiler has missed a couple, and so has Rico. Sky has obviously missed a couple. I think Ads has missed one as well. I think if both teams are full strength here, I think this could be a really, really good meeting. I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go for. I'm gonna go for a home win by 6 points.
Home win by 6. Oh, so you think the Cowboys will get the better of the Storm? You think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think on the home track as well. I'm not obviously Storm will have a lot more time to practice this month than the other two teams who are already Monday. But I just think if the Storm do have to use wide replacement again, it has cost them a few points this season. I think they got 2 the 1 week and 3 last week. So I think I can see the Cowboys taking this one.
Shad, you've been given a bit of a confidence boost there from Hads, thinking that your boy's gonna keep them close.
I mean, if I'd take a 6 point defeat, but even in the second leg, I know we beat them in the first meet of the season by 12 points, and it wasn't the most difficult meeting we've had this season. But I don't think they're going to be as poor as they were at our place this time round. Being the first meeting, everyone was no one knew what was happening, no one knew what was going on, but everyone's seen the recordings now. Everyone knows the lines. And as Dynamite showed when they came to our place, they practiced and they done us over. So I've taken a 4-6 point defeat. We've been over 2 legs. I mean, no one likes to lose, but I think if we went back with 6 points to gain, I think we'd be quietly confident. But there again, I think this is anyone's meeting. This is going to be very, very, very close.
So you think the boys are going to keep it close for that first leg then? Of course, take it to the second leg, which of course we'll have all the previews and that with in a future episode. But chaps, it is approaching checkered flag time. Any sort of last words you guys want to give?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, obviously, last Sunday I didn't ride. Had a few things going on, and thanks to DL and Stephen 101 for stepping in to run the team, and also to Badger for guesting for us, who's done a grand job.
Awesome. Shad, any last words, mate?
No, I'll just say congratulations to you for becoming head commentator.
I knew that was coming.
I've been waiting. I thought I'd say it to the end.
Thank you. Yeah,
If anyone gets a chance to watch those 3 heats again on the recordings from last night, give them a watch because they were classic.
I will be one of those ones to watch as well, and I really
especially heat 14.
that's something like that's going to be the one to watch. Yeah, tanks going. Oh yeah, okay then, okay. But anyway, I think that's going to be all from us tonight, chaps. Of course, tune in. We'll be back again next week at the usual time of 8 o'clock at the present moment. Depends on what else happens outside of work. Next week's guest will be Big Slow Caney. So he'll be joining us from the Cowboys. So looking forward to hearing what his thoughts are on the season and his thoughts in general of Speedway and STS. But in the meantime, we will say a good night to Shad.
Good night, all.
A good night from Hadlington.
Good night, everyone.
And it's a good night from me. We'll see you all next week. Take care, guys. All the best.